Had to walk my dog. I forgot to go live. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot to go live. My bad. Sorry. Oh, sorry there. Don't you know? Sorry. Yeah, I was walking my dog. Totally forgot to go live because I'm a dumbass. So, bear with me. We're getting it going. We're getting it going. I got to grab a couple of display items and put them up real quick. So, bear with me. And Mountain Man, what's up, dude? Bear with me for 2 minutes, okay? I'm going to set a couple of things up. I'll be right back. Look at the guns on the wall. Come here, buddy. Come on. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. Totally forgot about the live. It's totally my fault. Don't blame the dog. It was my fault.
My fault, man. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault.
My poor dog sees me doing weird shit. He's like, what's this human doing? What this human doing is paying for your kibbles and bits, you big old softy. Hello. I don't know, got a range day Friday. You got a range day Friday? That's friggin' awesome. Here, look at the ceiling real quick. Because you can't see me doing things that could get us all in trouble. Beep. Peace, boys. I just bought a new mini bike. I thought you said you had to be #1 for talkie. I thought you needed the talkie. Hold on a second. Trying to pick what to move is difficult. It's like if I move the wrong things, then everybody bitches at me because they're all a bunch of whiny bitches. Did he say that out loud? He did. Does he mean it? He does. Why does he mean it, Daddy? Because his mommy beat him. Hold on 1 second. How you doing? We're almost there. We're almost there. How do you like that light? Isn't that a cool light behind me? Yeah, I like it when there's light. And then he said, let there be light, motherfucker. Not touching nothing. Don't know what you're talking about. All right, there we go. Turn off one light. What did you put on the wall? I don't know. Nothing. Everything on the wall's already been on the wall. Here, let's turn you around. We'll do a wall walk. So, look at that. You ever seen a Para LDA carry? That is the 4.25 or 4.25 or 4.25. Driving home from work, can you do the Russian accent, please? Oh, yes. Da, no problem. I'm going to do the Russian accent. So good for you. I don't know what I'm doing. It's not coming out right. Give me a couple minutes, okay, comrade ski? Got the Lafa Apollo right there. No Glock 30s. I have taste. So let's go over the wall tonight. So the 2025 collection as it stands, we've got the PX4 Storm and 45 ACP or 45 ACPA, 37 millimeter grenade launcher. The new comped TSOS PX9. Thank you guys for watching that video, by the way. My Island barreled Daria Arms DY9. The Arex 01 Tactical. The Rete RXP 22. The Gerson Regard, which is a Beretta clone, but it's the match grade sport. My custom AR. Freedom, bitches. Freedom. The G-Force Chronicle 1911. The Fusion Firearms 2011, that takes Glock mags. The TSOS BR9 Duty Double Stack. The Gerson Influencer X. The LFA Live Free Armory Apollo 11. The TSOS Night Stalker. The Fusion Firearms XF Pro. The Para Ordnance CCW LDA. I did a little bit of polishing to see if I can get the marks out of it. The Public Defender Poly. The Rock Island 5.0. And the DWX. Also an AK, but who gives a shit about that one? Let's see. I don't look at the screen when I'm showing you guys stuff, so bear with me. We'll get caught up here in a minute. Also, my dog really loves chicken, which makes sense. He is a dog. And even thunderstorms don't really bug him. Is he on camera? No freaking clue, bro. Let's go and look, bro. No Desert Eagles. Soon the altar will come. I should have bought one and got it gold plated. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that one. Apparently Sportsman is dragging their asses. It looked like they might have been on back order when I ordered it, but it said it was in stock, so... Who doesn't like chicken? I don't like chicken after it goes cold. I will not eat chicken after it's cooled down. What is up, buddy? When see the Armory crazy prices, we're giving stuff away because we're crazy, boys. Joshua from Vermont respects me and always will. Nah, don't do that. If you respect me, then I lose all respect for myself. I want to respect you, not other way around. I am like Keanu Reeves. I want to love you. You can love me if you wish, but it's not my main concern. My dog's sitting over here going, Jesus Christ, he's still talking. Oh yeah, no problem, Tucker. $4,000. Cold chicken is as good as cold pizza. Fuck that, dude. No cold pizza ever. No cold chicken ever gets eaten. I don't eat carcass after it cools. I don't know. It's not coming out right, comrade. Any revolvers? I will give you $1 million if you use your eyes. I made a bunch of M1 Garand ammo on Friday. Nice. Bro, you're real. From what I've seen, I'm on your side unless you go to the G-Thumb route, which I doubt. No, I'm good, man. Cold chicken is not that good unless microwave of mayo base for sandwich. Fuck you. You do not microwave frickin' mayo. That's gross. The name of my new store is Going Out of Business Sale. Hello, Stone. Alex, what is going on? Pauly Shore, we're crazy boys. That's my point. I'm with you. Real recognizes real. All right, Joshua. You're looking at the long slide Canik MC9. Go for it, dude. So Stone Sharps is sending me a frame for the RXM, so we'll see how that goes. Damn, you got a lot of guns. I got a couple this year. How's your week going? Depressing until I realized my dog is smarter than me, and that made me feel better because doggy is good doggy. Also, you should go over to a Dog and a Dude and sign up over there. What was the name of the 556 HK MP5 variant that's not an MP5? That would have been the, I can't remember. I know businesses that have been going out for 10 years. Pretty much a lot of them. How's business going for you this month? Not as good as I would hope. I got done a few sales, but I also am not pushing them as much because right now I'm down to my personal guns, and god damn it, I hate selling my personal guns. Snobs ate slobs, dog dads, and honest gun reviews. That's all I gotta know. Rock on, dude. What kind of dog? I have an Argentinian. Nah, come on. Cats go to heaven. Dogs need something to chase. Come here, Rocky. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. This is Rocky. This is a 2-liter of... come here. Come here. Hop up here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can you see him? This is Rocky. Why are you... You are such a jerk. When I ask you not to jump up on me, you're jumping up on me. And tonight, you're just like... Good boy. Who's a good boy? Yeah, I kissed my dog on the nose. Shut up. All right, buddy. Thank you. You're good. So, that's my doggo. My ferret bit me and friggin' drew blood. Bite him back. Oh, cutie pie. Yeah, he is. Like, subscribe, and share. Yep. Joe, it was so hot today. I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. Ha! Yeah. So, he's a German Shepherd, American Staffordshire Terrier. You said your week has been depressing. What's bothering you, brother? Just dealing with work and people being lying pieces of shit and abandonment issues. But now I got a doggo that can be off leash. He's my homie. So I'm good now. Also, my blood pressure is insanely high, but also down to stress. So I just got to make it through this month and be solid. Smile. Frown. Smile. Frown. Asian. This is my good boy. Yeah, you are. Don't worry, I give him plenty of treats for being good. All pets go to heaven. Dog saved my life, and the only child I've had women, but they disappoint. Well, teach him any tricks yet? No, actually, I haven't. I'm not really looking for like a show pony kind of dog. I just want a companion dog. So he already knows how to sit and lay down and come here and stop biting me. So he knows the important thing. He knows not to bite me because it hurts. I can relate, bro. I hate to be real, so I won't, but this is why I adore you. Thank you, Joshua. Good evening. Hope you and the puppy are well tonight. I can just receive my Darien Island barrel slide an hour ago from Darien and UPS. It looks like you have one. Your thoughts? Haven't shot it yet. I was going to go to the range, but the groomer wasn't able to take Rocky because I couldn't find his vaccination paperwork in the packet I got. So I had to reschedule, and I also decided to sleep. Aw, that sucks, Atticus. Weapons are evil. No, people are evil. Weapons have no thoughts, conscious, sentience, anything like that. So when a person does something evil, it's the person, not the weapon. An evil person with a fork is as deadly as a good person with a fork. The fork does nothing. It's the person. You should do a 3-day water fast. That will help a lot of things and clear your mind. I'm not physically ill. And if you're talking about my blood pressure, don't bother. If Rocky ever gets overheated, don't put him in water or douse him in water. It could kill him fast, just paw, nose, and belly with the water. Oh, I'm not letting him get overheated. We went out for like 2 minutes, and then we came in and just treat him as nice as I can. Tyrone says, what's happening, Joe? Tell Rocky I said hi. Hey, Rocky! Tyrone says hi. He just stuck his tongue out, so he says hi back. I got a shite ton of 7.62 by 54R I'm going to blow through this weekend. Sweet! Justin, we've talked about this. Leave stuff unless they're mega spamming. Paw is pretty easy. Close your hand around a treat and bring it up to his face. Give it to him if he raises his paw. Oh, I don't need to teach him paw. It's not one of the tricks I feel like teaching him. I'm godly, but hippie, weirdo, realistic thoughts, and God, no preaching. Yeah. Yo, y'all, what's up? It's me, Mason. I started personal training and are losing weight. Mason, good for you, man. Have I seen the new John Wick movie? No, the ballerina I have not. Work and just not wanting to do anything have kind of taken over my life. I have no desire to go to the movies. Hello, Seamus. How you doing today? I'm good. No 10 millimeter. I've got a 37 millimeter. Isn't that good enough for you? Why'd you got to be a 10 millimeter? I'm tired of watching movies. Maybe it's because I'm old. I also have people I know that rip movies as soon as they come out. My buddy already has Superman. Keep our dogs cool and happy. It's not rocket science, and the movies suck. Yeah, pretty much. You got some guns back. Doesn't look naked anymore. I traded a couple of mine. I traded a revolver I never shoot anymore, and I got a Live-Free Armory Apollo 11 2011. Mainly because I just didn't feel like paying for it. Hello, big guy. How is Rocky? Rocky's good, man. Rocky's a good boy. His poops are finally solid again, so we're over the treat overload of first 3 days. Mr. Watcher says 357. No, I don't shoot a lot of revolvers. I got a 410 revolver up there. Other than that, any other rimmed cartridge is going to be a no. I'd rather go shoot instead of a movie any day. I get it. If you buy tier 1 holsters, you get entered to win a Jeep, right? Oh, yeah, sure. That's always a great one. If anybody lost weight, I have it. You can have it all back. Ha! What do you have in a 37 millimeter? You have a tank in the backyard? 37 millimeter grenade launcher. Excuse me, signal flare launcher. It's right there. Shoots 37 millimeter signal flares. What kind of revolver did you trade, if you don't mind me asking? A Smith & Wesson 460 XVR. Guns are tools. I customize polymer frames. You undercut trigger guards and rattle can long guns. If you like eating Vaseline, you do you, Braden. What do you think about 38 Supers? 38 Super is fine. My Grandmaster is a 38 Super. I have to run major power factor to get it to run right. But one of my buddies who owns a gun store down south, he loves 38 Super. That's his daily carry. Do I prefer to rent guns or bring guns to the shooting range? Well, I go to a range that I have exclusive for myself, so I bring all my guns. Oh no, you traded the X-Frame. I had $800 into the X-Frame, and I got a $1,200 2011. I work with a Glock 17, Austria's MP in the Netherlands. Good cleaning advice. I'm still cleaning in my break time. It's super easy. Just field strip it and shoot it full of Ballistol or Safari Charlies, man. Damn, got enough guns or not? Nah, never. What's up, Ammo? You did not get ignored. I just don't respond to religious comments. Looks like some more spots are filled. Yep. So I traded off a couple of guns from my 2024 pickups. I got the Para-Ordnance LDA and the LFA Apollo, and I just put up a couple of guns that I had in pawn. The PX4 Storm in 45 ACP. You guys have probably never seen it on a live stream, but that's a 45 ACP. And my AR-15. That was a good trade then. Yeah, I never shot the thing, and I only bought it because it was cheap. And I'd rather trade it off for something I'm going to shoot. I'd rather have a 2011 than a revolver. The two I would get are the HK USP and my Chief Special. I'm so sad. Why do I smell kimchi, buddy? Did you eat rotten kimchi and fart? Don't look at me like that. He's looking at me like, China, please. I always thought holding a handgun with both hands slightly tilted to the right or left looked badass. That's actually a theory of operation called center axis relock, or CAR. It's what John Wick kind of does, a modified CAR when he's clearing houses, because when he pulls the gun out, he starts it like that, and then he moves forward. So, I use shooter's lube. Yeah, I use engine oil, worst case scenario. How does the PX4 Storm in 45 ACP run? It runs great. I've never had an issue with it. I've only shot it like a handful of times, though. Airmax, what's up? Can you tell me how suppressors work? Yeah, kind of the same way a muffler does, honestly. There are baffles internally, and what happens is it captures as the round leaves through the suppressor. It either cycles it, depending on what the shape of the suppressor is. There are blow-through suppressors, and then there's ones like my Osprey, which kind of circles the air underneath the chamber. Do I use drum mags? Only in VR shooters. 5W30, a quart will last 20 years. What's your favorite 12 gauge pump? Probably like a Mossberg 590 retrograde with the nice wood stock and the heat shield on it. What was the sex lube name that you used for sanding and you recommended? Water Life was that? No, it was the silicone one. I don't remember the exact name of it. My dog will eat food the size of a quarter. Smells like she ate a wheelbarrow. Yeah. For you, which is the better Glock? A broken one. Hey, Rockman, what is going on tonight, dude? How you been, bro? It's been a while since I seen that twisted face on my screen. No, I already did at the beginning of the thing, dude. Just go back to the beginning of the live stream. 43X was a terrible shooter before I put a ramjet and afterburner on it, and now it shoots like a dream. So you took a gun that was already $150 more expensive than it should be and added another $200 to it. Got it. Why buy fancy blue lube in a jar when you can get a quart for $6? Screw that. Just pop the hood on your buddy's truck when you go to the range. Make him drive. Then you got free oil for life. Glocks are all the same, bro. Beretta APX first gen full size has an awesome trigger. What do you think? The gun shoots great, but it looks ugly as sin, dude. You ever use gun grease? I like it. Yes, I have. I've used just about everything that you can think of, either in samples or just because it was free. I've got a tube of frog lube. Technically, you can eat frog lube. If somebody offered you $1 million to say Glock is good and reliable, I bet you still wouldn't. I would, but I'd be cringing the whole time because I'd be thinking about all the shit I'd buy with $1 million. 1 minute you scrolling on at gun porn. Hey, Nami. Glock 45 or Glock 19 if you had to pick for EDC. They're the same gun. When I grow up, I want to move to a state where I can buy a 22 can. You will. There's that can only the Dan Wesson. What? I tried building my own. Never mind. Scratch that. Yep. What's the best pistol you recommend under $500? I really depends. What are you looking for? Striker fire, hammer fired? You know, CZP-10 would probably be my main go-to. Optics cut, 9mm double stack, better trigger than a Glock. Functions very similar to a Glock, but feels better. And for under $500, you can get an optics cut one. What state are you in? Denial. 19 has a smaller grip frame friendly nuke. It's easier to conceal. If you're trying to do conceal carry, you want the 19. If you're just talking about EDC, you don't care if you print and shit like that, get the 45 because it gives you the 17 round capacity. Although the 19 can also take the 17 rounds as well. Frog lube is awesome. Organic works, just expensive. I don't know. I got it for free. The top three 2011s. So there's a that's a Fusion Firearms, technically a 2011. That's a TSAS BR9 2011, and then there's the Live Free Apollo. So those are the top three on that row. There are no 2011s below it. High Point Eat Cannon looks cool. I've got one in the store. No such thing as an ugly gun. I beg to differ. Google Zip 22s. I don't hate ugly guns. I have an OG High Point 995. It may work with 33 round Glock mags. Interesting. Do you ship weapons? No. I do FFL transfers through my FFL. The Glock 45 is smaller than the 19. No, you got that backwards. The Glock 45 has a full size frame. It has the exact same slide as a 19. Does a suppressor slow down the bullet slightly? Yes, it can, but you're talking minimal differences, and you compensate by running a faster bullet. Or if you just want it quiet, you don't, obviously. Lycan! You found the live stream. Holy shit! What's up? Is the Apollo 11 worth the price? It's like a $1,200 gun, depending on where you get it from. I mean, it's a 2011. I haven't shot it yet, and it has a pretty chintzy 3D printed frame, but that can easily be changed. Lycan, thank you so much for the frickin' donation, dude. You are a king and a half. My old 995 is ugly, but it's a tack driver. The best high points are the rifles, absolutely. The Glock 45 is not 2K. Some places it is, dude. Just curious why you don't like Glock. They're the most popular sidearm. No, they're the most popular sidearm with Glock lovers. They are not the most popular sidearm. They're boring as shit. And the people and the universe of people that love Glock, I don't like. Because people that love Glock hate everything else. They won't even consider anything else. They think Glock is perfect. And I can't handle that kind of person. You can't shoot guns on live streams, my friend. Supposed to have my rete on Friday. Nice, Don. Stone comes back in. Deadass for the 45. Prices vary on where you live, dude. Availability, import laws, things like that can affect whether or not you can even get a gun. What do you think about XD40s and XD45s? XD40s, 40 cal is a diminishing caliber. It's not dead yet, but it's a boring ass caliber for people that think 40 cal is more effective than 9, who don't realize that 9mm technology has surpassed 40 at this point. If the Glock was priced at $400, would you change your mind? No, it would have to be $300. There's no reason for it to be $400. $400 with an optics cut, I will forgive it. But $629 for a Gen 5 19 with an optics cut, they can go fuck themselves. Let me ask you this. Okay, ask. What's up, DB? I'm really thinking about getting rid of my Jetta. You should. You should mail it to me. It's the most accurate direct impingement or piston. Which is more accurate? Well, piston is cleaner. I wouldn't say it's more accurate. Accuracy is more based on the barrel and the build of the gun. Cody, what's up? I like Wisconsin, so easy to buy a gun. Nice. I'd buy a $200 Glock. I've got a $200 Glock, but I ain't selling it to you because you're a liar. You wouldn't buy it. I think it depends on what gun, but the XD50 is a crazy pistol. I stick to 9mm, 12 and 5.56, 223. Yeah, it doesn't matter. IWI Zion 15, thoughts? For a mid-tier AR, it's actually pretty solid. You're buying reliability. No, you're buying a name. I've never been a big fan of Glock, but it's more of an Ergos thing. Sure. What do you think of the 38 Super in 1911? Yeah, I own a 2011 and 38 Super, and the Glock 19 can suck my bing bong. What's a gun you recommend? CZP-10. It is kind of Glock-ish, but it has a much better trigger, better ergos, and you can get them optics cut for around $500. Is that an AK with a customized wood grip? No, that's a 1970 Romanian with an original dong. Have you seen the ABC Rifle Company? No, I have not. Buying an IWI Zion now. Thank you. You're welcome. Any predictions on the future of Glock? I think there's still going to be rectangles with shit triggers. I'll buy a Glock 18. Does that count? Yep. I'll let you know when you can buy it. Canics are making a dope name for themselves. Yeah, I recommend Glocks over Canics over Glocks for sure. Can you give me your thoughts on the DB AR-15? I'm thinking about getting one. I noticed that you had one. The Diamondback AR-15 is a perfectly good place to start. It's not like the best gun in the world. It's obviously $500-600 AR. It's just going to be good, but it runs reliably. It feeds reliably. I've never had problems with a stock one, but I also don't run stock guns. What do you think of ARPs? They're fine. Run what you like, dude. I'm a gun guy. I love guns. I'm not one of those people that thinks a gun only fits into one category. So having like a CMMG Banshee and ARP, love them. They're going to be bricks till the year 3000. They're going to be bricks as long as they say Glock on them. Looks like you're no longer shadow banned. I guess not. 11 gun armory. Lol. You think that's 11 guns? Try counting again, Sonny. Get a PSA lower and get a BCM upper. What's the best AR out of the box? Probably a Daniel Defense, unfortunately, I have to say. I got a quarter-inch group of 200 yards with 100-yard zero, AR-15 out of 10 rounds. Nice, Red Talon. Glock is best out of the box. No, Glock is best out of the box into a fucking trash bin. How about the American Tactical? Why? It's not worth it. Don't buy one. Thoughts on Ruger buying Anderson? Companies merge and combine all the time, man. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care about Remington and I don't care about Anderson. Do I like CZs? Yes, I do. DB, we've had a talk about this. If he's spamming it, which he is, I understand it, but let stuff go for a while, all right? Is your beef with Glock specifically about the trigger or just the design? Yeah, and the fact that it's not innovative, it's not good. They tout that their gun is perfect. Number one, they copied John Moses Browning's tilting lock, short action tilting locking system, so it's not even an original novel action. And on top of that, they're reliable because they have shit tolerances. 300 block out of 7.62 or 5.56. What? Oh, blackout or 7.62. I've got a 5.56 and a 300 blackout and a couple of AKs, so I don't have to pick. You think staccatos are overpriced? Heavily overpriced. They should be $2,000 max. Springfield PCC or Ruger PCC? I actually like the Ruger PCC better. The tactical one with the AR-15 grip. Don't have a favorite 10mm. I don't shoot it much. Heard someone say Glocks are good for home defense because if anything happens, he gets taken away. You're not going to care about getting it back. See, that's one of the worst things that anybody can say, and it's one of the biggest arguments that I tend to have with people when they talk about that. I understand if you want to run a Glock because you're exceptionally talented with the platform. You're very well trained with your Glock. You practice, you go to the range, you shoot a lot of rounds, and you're competent with your firearm. Then I totally understand you justifying the price as a reason to do it. But why in the goddamn name of hell would you put a price tag on your life? I will happily lose my $2,000 DWX or my $5,000 Grandmaster if it saves my life. My life is worth a lot more than $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. $16,000 is about the limit for my life. Would you knife a man up? No, I'd get into a fist fight and may the best man win. What's your opinion on the 509 Tactical? Their polymers are a little bit iffy. I don't recommend the 5 series. Go with the old FN series. What gun would you pick if Glock didn't exist? That's not even a question, Wavy. I always pick a 1911. I'm back. Had to go upstairs. All right. Thoughts on KS-47 minus the PSA barrel? Well, then it's not the same gun. How realistic is it every day to carry a 5.7 with a high cap magazine? I heard the grips are too wide. They're only too wide if your hands are too small. And yeah. I worked through Ruger in 08. We had a meeting. They said, any suggestions? I said, make polymer. I can't catch up. Your eyes are too far apart. Okay, cool. Swipe away then. Hollow or ball? Hollow for carry, ball for whatever else I'm doing. Why stop at 16 grand? You're at least a 20. Nah, I don't think so, dude. Do you like triple shot burst fire? Nope, never did. One guy on the internet, instead of putting a bounty on the person, he waited. Why did the autocorrect put his... What the fuck did you just type? Bro was a good comment. Yeah. AR-10 or AR-15? I prefer the AR-15. I'm not a big rifle guy, period. You think you know or got a B1, Counter-Strike, all... What the fuck? I love you guys. Suggestions for first gun. Go to a gun store and try some different guns in your hand to see what fits best for you. I can tell you what's reliable. I will not suggest guns to you. People that make suggestions to people when they don't know what they actually like will not actually work well. Larry, I appreciate it, but I will handle my own chat. Thank you, sir. If the basic Glock didn't exist, what would be the place still to replace it? I don't know, man. Questions like those make my brain hurt because you're asking me to think of a world where that is a major change. So, what do you think most people... What's your opinion on concealed carry laws and being able to buy a full AR at 18? The reason why they kind of put a kibosh on people buying pistols at 18 is because rifles are harder to conceal, theoretically. I run a Daniel Defense 11.5-inch SBR. Love that gun. Nice. I pulled my $2,500 PCC build yesterday. I don't know how much it costs. Thoughts on 92X Performance? It's pretty good. What firearm is that with the red handle on the AK wall? That is a Dan Wesson DWX. I like a variety. There's also, if you're talking about the one with the suppressor, that's a Fusion Firearms XF Pro. I like a variety. There's certain rifles I like, shotguns I like, and certain handguns I like. I guess I like the idea of being versatile. I like. What's your favorite CZ pistol? My SP01. Am I ex-military? No, I am not. I'm going to buy some guns. Good job, Cindy. Best home protection. A lock. Is an AK a good home defense weapon? My family keeps two in the fridge, but is there a better rifle for handling break-ins? Sure. Whatever you train with. Thoughts on short stock, legal, short barrel, 12 gauge shotguns? What the fuck? Was I a cop? Nope. Never in the military, never law enforcement. In my state, we could carry at 18, just couldn't buy them. I'm 40. I carried since 18. I carried since 18. Yeah, there's a lot of places. There are several states where you can get a concealed carry, but many of the freer states, including Virginia, allow you to open carry at 18. How do I like the new CZP-09? It's fine. I sold it to a buddy of mine. It's fine. Match grade ammo. What about it? I like that black and silver revolver. That is a Taurus Public Defender Polymer 410. So you agree to orange isn't yours because the SPO1 is your favorite. No, I say it because I don't have the orange anymore. Do you like the Jericho 941 or for the anime guys, a Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop? It's fine. It's the CZ75 variant. Think CZs are kind of ugly. Not the biggest fan of how they shoot either. What's another brand you recommend? Walther with their PDPs, Smith & Wesson with their M&Ps. What's the largest EDC round you think you can realistically be used? Accuracy, recoil, over penetration. I heard people using a 45-70 revolver in a city. Those are people that are trying to prove a point and they're idiots. Is this no permit needed, thank God, freedom, blah blah blah. CZ is good ugly though. Unless you're a Brinks money transport, that's open carry. Is the revolver a 357? No, it's a 410 shotgun. What would be the best ballistics? I want less gun smoke coming out of the gun, 8-inch or 11.5. What the fuck, dude? Do you want better ballistics or do you want less smoke? What do you mean smoke? The amount of gunpowder that doesn't get burnt depends on how shitty your primer is, so your ammo will determine how much unburnt powder and smoke comes out. So keep that in mind. Your ammo determines that shit, not the barrel. Echelon finally got approved by the California roster. Yeah, I saw that, but you have to have manual safeties, I think. What guns did the police use in the 70s? They had revolvers, and I think some were carrying 1911s and then some Smith & Wessons when they started transitioning into the 80s. Is it a hobby buying those? To be honest, we Asian thinks America's hard to attack. If war broke out, imagine in Florida, Crocs are weapons, all houses have guns, Lamau. Every word you typed confused me and hurt my brain. What would be the largest round you confidently EDC? I carry a 45 every day, man. That's plenty. Is the 410 revolver a Taurus? Yes. Is it a crime not have a gun in the Arkansas? Maybe. I heard if you get pulled over in Texas, you don't have a gun, they give you one. Keep up the great content. Thank you for educating the masses. No problem, dude. What is up with all these stupid questions? The shadow ban is over. That guy's a spy. Okay. Got to take a 9mm bullet out of my pocket, then washed it. You think it will still shoot? Maybe. I want max velocity for 300 blackout. What length would you pick? I've seen the best lengths are 8 or 11.5. 300 blackout was designed for 8-inch barrels. Yeah, you lose. Max velocity is out of a 16-inch barrel. So the longer the barrel, the longer the dwell time for the powder to burn behind the round. You'll get a faster round out of a longer barrel. Simple ballistics. Are flash hiders worth the money? My family only uses suppressors, but it hurts my eye sometimes when I shoot without it. You're asking some weird questions, Larry. Stone, 100%. I think it will. What do you recommend for a 357? As long as the primer doesn't look corroded. What do you recommend for a 357 snub nose revolver? A Smith & Wesson Airweight. Are you not concerned about 45 being able to deal with armor, obstacles, deflection, etc.? Where the frick are you getting into gunfights, man? I don't know where you're getting your daily information for what the average American citizen look like, but YouTube gives a very distorted idea. All these dipshits you see wearing body armor when they're shooting their guns on YouTube don't wear body armor when they're out in fucking public because they're too fucking embarrassed to be out in public wearing body armor. So the odds of me running into somebody wearing body armor in the streets is extremely limited. And if I do run into somebody wearing a ballistic vest on the street, I'm aiming for his head. Will pistols shoot underwater? Sometimes. It all depends on the saturation of the gun. And a lot of times they won't cycle. I don't want a 16-inch 300 blackout. I want a compact one. All right. The way I explained it was so that you understand that you get more velocity out of a longer barrel. So shorter barrel equals less velocity. Longer barrel equals better velocity. You need to decide what you're willing to run. Why are your eyes closed? Because I saw your mom naked and it hurt. Now I'm worried. Yep. Opinion on Rock Island might be my first 1911. Definitely. Get a Rock Island. They're very solid. Don't believe everything you see or hear. Yep. I'm out. Don't be worried. You'll be fine. What if you got bulletproof helmet on? Then I'm dead. Why would I go up against a boss level motherfucking threat? Can you use Vaseline for gun maintenance? I wouldn't. Vests are illegal here, so only criminals wear them and only went up to troubles. I had a coworker who was a delivery driver. He would wear body armor on his route. He was an ex-military. A lot of people, I guess, do. What? That's the minority. From, you see America is top like we worship it. Lol, I'm sorry if it's hard to understand. I'm saying America being top is legit. That's fine. Alex, you have a great night too, man. Thanks for coming in. Use Crisco, lols. Don't. I think the worst that could happen is one of the two being straight. It just doesn't go off, or two, you get a squib. Pretty much. How would you know if they have bulletproof vests on? I don't care. We're getting into a really absurd conversation here. Do I have an HK USP? Nope. I have a VP9, but not the USP. Tommy comes in with the $5 donation. Thank you, good sir. I only ask because there seems to be a lot of people I'm seeing these days, even outside YouTube, wearing level 3+. I know it's not the biggest concern, but when panicking, aiming is hard, you know. Where are you seeing this, man? I work with guns. I own a gun store. I can honestly say outside of police on duty, I have never in 6 years seen any civilian wearing bulletproof vests. And wearing a 3+? You're telling me they're wearing steel plates? What round penetrates some soft armor vests? Miami shootout, they use a bulletproof vest. All right, I'm done participating in absurd things. So you guys keep going, that's fine, but I'm not participating. Before I go, like your tool bench setup. Okay, Nor, bye-bye for real. Okay, Aussie Daddy, everyone make sure to hit the like button. Is that a suppressed 1911? No, that is a suppressed Fusion Firearms XF Pro. I think that guy's been in Pennsylvania, fairly scattered, but definitely around. You hang out in some weird parts of town, brother. To be honest, if you're shorting at someone, you are not thinking about if they have threes on or, well, if you're in the middle of a shootout and you have time to sit there and go, I wonder what their loadout is, you're either playing Fallout 4 or you're fucking psychotic. Man, that was a brief psycho minute. All you new people, like the goddamn stream. How is the puppy doing? Is he getting more comfortable? Oh yeah, 100%. He's actually off leash 100% now. The rest of the world can have whatever it wants, dude. What license does it take to legally buy a suppressor? How difficult is it to obtain? They are federally controlled. You have to fill out an application, a Form 4, in order to buy one. Once you get approved for it, it could take as little as, I've seen people get approved in a day. I've seen it take up to 2 years, so. Did I hit the like, Joe? No, I don't like my own streams. I actually dislike my own streams. You want to know, just want to know how much to penetrate level 5E. 800 bajillion rounds. Or one skank ass hoe. God damn, I called out DB and he ran away. Probably texted me too, because I forgot to turn on do not disturb. I recommend suppressors. Highly still use protection, but the lower noise is nice when practicing a lot. Dogs are great. I like mine more than most people. Agreed. My dog is just chilling over there, sleeping. Stole a cushion off my couch, but that's fine. Rocky, are you dead, boy? He doesn't like that accent. What calibers penetrate soft Kevlar the best? Depends on which Kevlar or which manufacturer, man. Some of them I've seen will stop 5.7, some of them won't. Is that a CZ right behind you? No. You said you don't like rifles for self-defense, so would you prefer an SBS? No, I said I just don't like rifles. I'm not a rifle guy, I'm a pistol guy. What caliber or millimeter is your noise maker launcher? That is a 37 millimeter signal device. It is not a grenade launcher, despite the fact that I have flashbangs and concussive. Mercedes has the option to bulletproof your car. New, of course. Lol, not the cushion you throw your guns on. It was part of the couch. It was a part that could come off the couch, and I took it off the couch a long time ago. I'd been using it to just kind of nap in my store. Now I can't. My dog uses it. If you had your license, you could actually fire real Mike's grenades out of it. I mean, yeah, if I had a destructive device license, I could fire whatever I wanted out of it. It won't shoot a 40 mic because a 40 mic is 40 millimeters, but yeah, if I have the licenses, I could shoot whatever I want. Here in my country, getting a pew-pew only for lawyers and businessmen, but illegal ones are so cheap, like $50 and you got it. Damn. Pistols are convenient and versatile, but do you think there's value in having a big gun to potentially encourage retreat? I'm a realist, so I don't like participating in questions that require that form of thinking about it. I don't need to carry a big ass rifle to deter somebody. I don't live in an area where I need to do that. I've never lived someplace where I need to do that because I have a car and money for gas. If I find myself in an area where it's so bad that I have to fear for my life enough to carry a shotgun down the street, I'm going to carry that shotgun just long enough to get my ass out of that area. And people that say they can't leave a place or they're stuck in a place, it's fucking bullshit. Just go. Opinion on fully automatic pistols. What price range does a fully automatic pistol start at? Considering the fully automatic pistols typically start between $40,000 and $100,000, I pass. Did you ever consider adding an SBS to your car carry or for home defense? Nope. I have a Mossberg 930 tactical for home defense. What do I need a short barrel shotgun for? Is the 43X worth it? That's a question you have to ask yourself. If you ask me, I'm always going to tell you no because I don't like Glock. When I go into Pittsburgh, I carry a foldable ARP, but it's not a substitute for a concealed firearm. No kidding, I agree. Is there even a fully pistol that's legal anymore? Yeah, older ones. Anything built before 1986 technically can be considered fully transferable if it was registered before the ban went into full effect. I'm not a revolver guy, but I can tell you, depending on the caliber you're going with, $500 is going to get you an entry-level gun that's not worth modifying anyway. Pimp, what is up, sir? 43X is the best size to capacity ratio you can get if you get an S15 magazine. I don't agree with that. Kimber EDC X9, 365X Fuse, or the X Macro. It's less than an inch longer in the grip. It's less than an eighth of an inch wider. Has a 4.3 inch barrel, so it has a 0.2 longer barrel, and it holds 17 rounds stock without having to change parts. So, no, it is not the best size to capacity ratio. The Canik Meta MC9 Prime has 15 out of the box without having to get extra mags and go with a third-party company to increase the capacity. So 43X is a 10-round capacity unless you go aftermarket. The minute you go aftermarket, it's no longer a Glock. It's a Glock and a Shield Arms. It's odd to make a ban where only grandfathers can be owned when they are pretending it's for safety. Spent half my time in VA and half my time in the Bronx, and I just got my New York CCW. Damn, that's a lot harder than VA, I'll tell you that much. What about the M&P 2.0? M&P 2.0 is a solid pistol. Having a magazine-fed SBS semi-auto would be faster shots, reload often, more additions can be made to the furniture, full Picatinis, etc. I have a Mossberg 930 tactical tube-fed shotgun, semi-auto. It holds 8 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. A box-fed seems like a good idea until you have to change one under duress. So unless you're carrying one of the 9-rounders or the 19-rounders, which only shoot 2 3/4, no. Everything you said is wrong. 38 or 357, I want to get an entry-level pistol and learn I can train and make the revolver more reliable or better out of the box. Any gun can be reliable if you treat it with respect. Thoughts on the Diamondback SDR revolvers chambered in 357? I have not put my hands on one, but I'm interested in checking them out. I've been reaching out to a shit ton of companies. Bursa is sending me their 2011. I signed the agreement for that today, or technically yesterday, sent that back, and I'm waiting on a few other ones. Yeah, I would always, if the choice is between a 38 and a 357, get the 357 because you can shoot 38s out of it. There's nothing saying that you have to shoot 357s out of a 357. There's some dude shucking clams with 1,100 viewers. What the fuck? Yeah, because YouTube will promote that. They don't promote gun channels. You know that, DB. Carried my J-frame today at 3 o'clock. Nice. A lot don't treat their weapons with respect, and it makes me sad. Yeah, I mean, I'll do stuff to my guns, so. Smith & Wesson or Canik. For semi-autos, the Caniks have the better trigger. Actually, I'm going to say I'd probably go Canik right now. The M&P's good, but I like the Canik better. It's wild what you see scrolling the lives. Oh yeah, dude, it's insane. But you also got to remember that's why not everybody gets a shit ton of viewers, because they're all spread out. How often do you lube up your guns? Every time I shoot them. Think you might be getting out of it? It's possible, but we dropped off again after an hour. We'll see what happened. What revolver shoot the best or handle the best, smaller ones or full-size ones? Full-size ones, weight compensates. Just remember this sentence. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're firing a 357 out of a 2-inch snub-nose revolver, it's going to have a lot of kick. If you're shooting it out of a 6-inch revolver that's super heavy and made out of stainless steel, the kick is going to be mucho reduso. How are you reloading your Mossberg? I think they get cut out. Did you say 8 in the tube single loading? No. Look up a Mossberg 930 tactical with extended mag tube. I carried my P10 today. Nice. I missed my 69 Hype special for cool factor. Never even seen that one. The water-cooled PC would help viewership. No, it really doesn't. Charter Arms, do you think they're worth trying? I mean, anything's worth trying once. You need to you need to be able to take the risk to try stuff. If you want to consider yourself an enthusiast in the gun world or in anything, any hobby, go outside of what you consider the normal, out of what you would consider your comfort zone. Try different things because you never know what you'll like. I bought that Rite RXP22. It's not my bag, but at least I tried it. California, if I have a 357 Magnum iron, I carry 38 Special in it, my CCW will be revoked. Well, that was stupid. That's dumb, man. Move out of California. Tell your wife you're getting divorced. You know, a lot of old guys I know clean it when it's visibly or audibly bad. My father taught me to clean every session before and after, unload every mag when not in use to help the spring. The spring thing, that's an old wives' tale. It doesn't. People have left mags loaded for 5-10 years. Spring technology is a lot better than it used to be. What do I think about Vector mags? They're Glock mags, so they're fine. Balls bag, okay. Would anyone in here feel comfortable carrying a single action revolver nowadays when everyone uses semi-auto? So, if you're trying to decide what you're going to do, don't listen to a bunch of strangers on the internet. I always encourage you to watch as much stuff as you can, get as many opinions as you can, and form an aggregate opinion. If you just take one person's opinion or the opinion of a bunch of people that are zealously following a YouTuber, you're not going to get a full picture. That's why the news is nothing but shit. You've got mags been loaded since 2005. Yeah, they're buried with the bodies out in the desert. I know what you did. I had the same issue. I swapped her guide rod for a steel one, and it did help. Nice. I made Mrs. Mouse a 3D printed rainbow dragon. Nice. Chris, Vector mags jam a lot. They're not fine. They jam because the gun is not designed to go that slow. You can also, when the design of the mag means that the spring is, it's not as strong as it needs to be. If you could run a shorter mag in the Chris Vector, then it would probably feed fine. So you don't care for rifles. How do you feel about PCCs? Carbine is a rifle. Do with that what you will. I don't have the dexterity for single action, but it is a little safer, and with skill can be just as fast. Pretty much. Just emailed you pics of it. All right, hold on. Yeah, we've already had that argument. BB, we're not going into it because technically carbine is not used correctly anyways. A carbine is technically a shorter version of a rifle. God damn, you 3D printed that? That's friggin' crazy, dude. Alright, DB, now you just want to start shit. So if I get a Chris Vector and on a Glock, do I think a JW trigger would be best to help shoot faster? I don't know. Are you able to outrun the trigger that's in the gun now? And I'm not asking to be a dick. I'm actually asking, are you capable of outrunning the trigger that's in the gun now? If you can outrun the trigger that's in the gun, you're making it jam because you're going too fast, then yes, upgrading the trigger is a great way to go. But if you're not outrunning the trigger, then no, it won't do anything. So. Different uses when people are talking about PCCs versus rifle, though. Not really. It's people's understanding of the word that is different. Pistol caliber carbine refers to rifle length guns. If you're referring to a pistol caliber rifle with a shorter barrel, then what you have is a PDW, a personal defense weapon. The heat bed replacement was excess. Nice, dude. Speed and capacity of semi-auto, reliability, recoil management of a revolver. What's your preference? My 1911s have never failed. So in terms of reliability, I don't think that a revolver is any better. You know, you can buy a shit revolver just like you can buy a shit semi-auto. No man can run faster than a gun. Shit triggers, yeah. Some guns you can outrun a trigger. He scored a Colt LE 6943 upper, nice ultra-fire. Everyone make sure to double tap. Yep, good example is a 16-inch AR full length. ARs are 20 inches, I believe. Original ARs were designed to be 20 inches. Then the shorter, the XM197 or whatever it was called came out. Those were shorter. The CAR 15s came out. Those were shorter. But the standard length barrel for the AR-15 as Eugene Stoner designed it was 20 inches. I have 1911s. What do you think about them? They're fine. If I just got a Chris Vect mag, what's the best way to make it reliable? Unless I see what the jam actually is, you can't say that it's the mag. I mean, if it does it with one specific mag, then it's the mag. If it does it with every mag you put into the gun, it's the gun. So it depends on what the failure is. If it's failing to feed and you notice that the bullets aren't getting up into the chamber all the way, you can stretch the spring. If they're double feeding, then the spring is too tight. I would need to see what the failure is to tell you how to make the gun run reliable. It's like calling your doctor on the phone and saying you have a sore somewhere on your body. What should you do? I can't give you the answer because I have no clue what the problem is. Every gun can outshoot the person. With my Tactical Sport Orange, I can outshoot you? Yes, I absolutely can. You held an $8,000 rifle yesterday. Nice, dude. Pistol caliber carbine or a 300 blackout pistol? Well, 300 blackout was designed for an 8-inch barrel, so it was designed to be a pistol from the start. So I'm going to go 300 blackout. They're both intermediary rounds. I mean, it's designed to be used in closer quarters and suppressed, so I understand the comparison, but I'd still go with 300 blackout. M&P Shield or FN510 Tactical, general considerations. I don't recommend the FN5 series. The FN5 series has questionable polymer construction or polymer design. So if you're going to go with an FN, I always recommend the FNX, FNP, FNS designs. The previous generation, they're actually cheaper and they tend to be better. My Glock used to have a nose-up feed malfunction, sent it back to Glock, and it runs like butter. You lie! Glocks never have a problem, according to DB. Quick Google search said the word carbine was used to differentiate the full-size sniper from cavalry weapons in the 16th century. Okay? Because Google is awesome. Favorite pistol drill to run? I do a lot of different drills when I'm shooting. I mean, it's just low-ready bill drills. Probably my favorite to run. 300 blackout or 7.62x39. 300 blackout for sure, because more options in the AR platform for 7.62x39. My mom's boyfriend is an Army Ranger Special Forces, and he let me hold so much. Okay, Jay. There's Alex in the chat. He left a while ago. All right, Rockman, you have a good night, dude. 16th century ain't the 21st, so you got to go by modern standards as meanings change. You're the wrong Alex. Good question. You live 7.62 or 39 or 300 blackout, but you live in California. I would sell them both by a plane ticket. And then when I get to the free country of the United States of America from California, I would then replace the gun for less than what the cost was to sell them anyway. What's up, bud? I mess with this content. Nice. I mess with the continent. I dig holes in it. I'm technically slowly stealing it, kind of like Robert Dufresne did in The Shawshank Redemption. The only difference is I take it into prisons and I leave it there. so that the prisons get more and more full, so there's less capacity, and then they're like, God damn, this place seems smaller than it did yesterday, and nobody knows why. Also, I visit a lot of prisoners. It's just something I do for fun. Don't worry about it. DB's got to go. All right, yeah, coffees and cupcakes. Okay. Would you rather have a Colt single-action army or a full-size high point? Pick your poison and caliber in the context of EDC self-defense. High point. Welcome to the land of F fin grips, no suppressors, no NFA items, registration on everything, and ban 90% of modern handguns with an 11% excise tax on everything. Also, I bet you get taxed for leaving. Hell, you're leaving California? Dude, man, you can't leave. If you leave, our accent's gonna die, man. Totally. Keanu was like the last one, and he's Canadian, and he talks like us, man. What brand AR would be your O-sheet rifle? My custom build above my head. Yeah, bro. Time to get out of Los Angeles, dude. Totally. I have the best question. Hot dogs or hamburgers? I cut up my hot dogs and put them in my hamburgers, bro. Also, I put the cheese on the inside of the hamburger. Do EDC anything other than pistols, knives, pepper spray, tasers, etc.? I usually keep a tampon that I dyed red in my pocket. So when they ask for my wallet, I pull out a red tampon that looks like it's used and hand that to them. They usually go away. Guy thinks he's funny. I'm out. Dude, because I'm making fun of California, you'll be fine. I don't really want to see you do a ring video with the Tavor when it's fully California compliant with the fin grips. I think I'm going to not enjoy it as much. I think I'm going to play the Russian national anthem when I start that video. What's the difference between 300 Blackout and 7.62x39? Literally everything. Two different cartridges completely. They just both happen to be 30 caliber. And they both standard weigh 124 grains. But other than that, they have completely different uses. They're completely different. That's why they don't even have the same name. That's like asking me what's the difference between a 22 and a 45-70, my guy. USSR National Anthem from Rocky. Ha! Am I able to order in Colt lower receivers? Maybe. Explain why a 300 Blackout is better. It was designed for a short barrel and to be shot suppressed. So you can make it go quieter and hush-a-boom. 7.62 can penetrate, but it does it by using speed. In order to gain speed, it needs velocity or barrel length. You build a 7.62x39 in an 8-inch platform and you call it a Draco and it's shit. I can get the parts kits. Yeah, it looks like I can get the parts kits, but I can't get the lowers. So would that mean the Blackout is subsonic? If you buy subsonic 300 Blackout, yes. 220 grain 300 Blackout is subsonic. Hi, man. What are your thoughts on Turkish 9mm pistols? I've got a bunch of them. They're fine. The Turks are building perfectly adequate guns. Some of them are actually really solid. So I've got Gerson, I've got Canik, I've got Tisas, I've got Daria, who used to be in Turkey, but now they're here. I've got Fusion Firearms stuff. They were built in Turkey. You think 16 or 20 inch 7.62 would be better for a dual rifle? What are you doing with it? I mean, you say dual, but do you mean like a hunting, home protection truck gun? Go with the shorter barrel. Because I really wouldn't be shooting like in an AK, get a 16-inch gun. You want a bolt action 7.62x39? Go with the longer barrel. You get better velocity. Thanks, Jimmy. All right, would you pick a different EDC weapon than what you normally pick if you were in California? EEG, a single stack 45 ACP 1911, or what do you normally use? A compliant mag. I daily carry a 1911 single stack, so. And what's a compliant mag for a 1911? I thought they all had detachable box mags like standard ones. What is the shortest 7.62 by 39 is effective at? It falls into what are you shooting? If you're shooting a human target, you could probably fire it out of a 5-inch gun and it would be lethal. If you're talking about accuracy over distance or trying to penetrate something that requires speed, then you need a longer barrel. You inspired me to walk my Scotty. Terrible. How come 9mm and 7.62 39 are both 124 grain, but one is obviously more powerful? Because the 124 grain refers to the weight of the bullet, not the amount of powder in it. There is way more powder in a 7.62 by 39 round. Constantly hear grief about high points are actually awful. If so, why from professional perspective, some of their firearms look mean. The High Point is a gun that is not made out of traditional gun materials. It's made out of a zinc alloy called ZMAC. It actually stands for zinc, magnesium, and crap, I think. The crap is probably wrong. But it's not made out of standard metal. It has a roll pin for takedown, so you can't easily field strip them. They have single stack magazines for the most part, so they have a 9mm with 8 rounds capacity that weighs 40 ounces. They can run. You can tune them. You can make them better, but you're taking a Honda Civic and putting a V10 engine in it. Your gun wall is back intact. Hell yeah. It's working on it. I've done some trading, and I've picked up a few of my guns back from pawn. You can run the Wilson 10-rounders in the 1911. Got it. I have 2 of those loaded up with Spear Gold Dot in my safe for my TRP. Sweet! What length on the longer end? Once you get out past 20 inches in a barrel that you're not using for hunting, you're going to start seeing reduction in overall velocity. You just got the Kimber Repeat Heat. Nice, man. 357 SIG versus 40. What do you choose? Well, let's see. 40 is a neutered 10mm, whereas 357 is a 9mm crammed into a 10mm casing, basically. So I'm going to go with 357. Zinc isn't that stuff super soft. Why would you make a gun out of it? Well, it's an alloy. Like I said, it's zinc, magnesium, and aluminum, as I believe. It's actually a very porous metal. If you watch a lot of channels that have had failures of the High Point, it cracks around the chamber because that's where it's weakest, and it dries out. Because that's where the gases are escaping the most, so it dries out the metal. You actually have to oil the entire body of the gun, otherwise it can crack. Yak bones, I may try those, but he's eating a bamboo fiber bone now, and he really seems to like it, so I'm not going to try to change him from that until he's done with it. What you drinking? We have Zaxby's here, and this is their sweet tea. Glocks are made out of a fiber-reinforced polymer. They are not technically plastic. They are a polymer blend. Plastic is a generic term, but it's usually not reinforced. This is made out of plastic. I admit I have a High Point in 40. Sorry to hear that. I'll show the wall collection before we end the stream tonight. I also would go 357 SIG, mostly because I think the bottleneck neck design is cool, given if the performance difference from 40 Smith & Wesson isn't much. If you get some good, like, double tap or Underwood Performance 357 SIG, you can make a lot of holes. What brand gun wall is that? It's 1970s pegboard that I got out of my buddy's basement that I painted black. For the price of a High Point, what pistol would you recommend, or is there nothing as cheap? Go to a pawn shop and try to find something used. Honestly, a High Point, they run in the $150 to $200 range, depending on which variant you get. The Yeet Cannon's about $200. God damn, the internet just went down. It's back. That was weird. We had a really bad rainstorm. The phone is on 5G, so that should be fine. But if I lose the chats, we'll know why. Isn't 357 SIG the only round that... No, 357 SIG does not penetrate armor. 357 SIG goes slower than 10 mil. I thought 40 outperformed 357 SIG. No. Standard out of the box, 357 is more powerful than 40. So... Uh, 357 SIG goes 1400 to 1475. Uh, 40 cal goes about 1,000 to 1,300 feet per second, depending on which version of it you use. It's also a blunter nose, so its penetration will be a lesser. It's more of a flat nose. No, 10 millimeter won't penetrate soft armor usually either, especially when you're talking about 3, 3A, 4. None of that will be penetrated. And if you're penetrating like level 2A with a 10 millimeter, then you bought it on Temu and you're dead anyways. There is a 7.5 FK that is probably better, but that's proprietary, so I don't know if that counts. 7.5 FK is a rifle caliber that was basically forced into a pistol. It's pretty cool. It has the same diameter as 10 millimeter. In fact, my buddy has the polymer framed 7.5 FK, and it's a great round. It's cooking, but it's not really a round that I would recommend as a carry round. G3s are regularly much less than 300. What penetrates that stuff? Rifle rounds. Speed defeats armor. Not size or width. Speed. Speed defeats armor. That's why a 7.62 by 25 Tokarev can theoretically punch through Kevlar, because it's cooking at 1,800 feet per second. 5.7, the good stuff, the SS-197 or whatever the fuck it is, can penetrate soft body armor because it's going at 2,000 feet per second. 22 TCM is going 2,000 feet per second, and it's a small round. So a small round going super fast will penetrate armor better than a fast round going slow. Ceramic is usually cheaper than soft body armor or steel plates, because once you start shooting ceramic, it deteriorates quickly. No. Think about what I just said, brother. So let's say you take a 1-ounce 12-gauge shotgun shell that's going 1,300 feet per second, but it's this fucking wide. It's not going through body armor, my guy. I would absolutely love to own an FK PDCC. PSDC, yeah, I wouldn't use it for carry, but I bet it's really nice for the outdoor. Also, for those who like fast bullets, look at Liberty Civil Defense. Also, double tap ammo. Do you think rip rounds are a gimmick? I saw they have rip slugs, which seem ridiculous. Jeff, by the way, thank you for the donation. I saw that. Thank you so much. I did see that. It says for gun education classes. I will get learnt how to make guns more deadlier. Rip rounds are straight up an asshole gimmick. It stands for radically invasive projectile, according to the company, but they literally stand for rest in peace. Yeah. Also, if you get caught shooting somebody with rip rounds, they're going to use that against you unless it was like a super clean shoot. 5.56 would penetrate it. 7.62 would probably. Depending on if it's level 3 or 3A soft body armor, it will probably stop 7.62 by 39. Can a 308 penetrate a vest? Depending on the vest. So there's all kinds of, man. Aren't the kind of shitty, like, don't they fail a lot, the rip round that is? It might cause a problem with cycling reliability. Yeah, don't try to get around my slur filter by just typing it like that, Axel. I think the main issue with rip ammo is the way it's marketed. I'm sure the round itself is effective, but like you said, not great in court. The round is designed to splinter. There are some hollow points that open up and splinter almost as well. Heckler, stop typing in all caps. What barrel length is a 5.7 best out of? It was designed for the PS90 or the P90, so, I mean, a 16-inch barrel will give it max velocity, but it's designed to run out of, I believe it was an 8-inch barrel in the P90. You're never going to look too hot in front of a jury with a round called rip. Yeah, if you're going to carry rip rounds, you might as well have a flash hider that says, look here, wait for flash, or get a Dremel on the side of your 40 caliber Glock and type in and scroll in, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. It's fine, Heckler. I hear P90s are fun to shoot, but I never got to. All we get are neutered ones here, so they're not as fun as people think they are. Semi-auto bullpup triggers are shit. Oh, 100%. If you have a round that pedals out, it's like firing the wad out of a shotgun. It just rips apart as soon as it hits the target. You'd rather be forced to use rip ammo or a Punisher Skull Glock? Have I shot the new Budget 1911? I have not. I have not shot the Chronicle. I've been dealing with doggy stuff. But I did pick up a pretty cool piece. That is the Para Ordnance CCW LDA Compact. Which is funny because they call it a compact, but it's got a commander-sized slide with an officer-sized grip. A newer version of the gun is called the 745, but they just call that one the 45 LDA CCW. And then I also have the Live Free Armory Apollo 11. How can they use that against you? Sir, some heavily expanding hollow points deliver similar fracture. Because it's called perception. You're judged in the court by the jury, and all a lawyer is required to do is put a sliver of reasonable doubt or a sliver of conviction into a jury's mind. And having a round that literally has a skull on the box and it has RIP on it can be used to say, oh, this guy was looking to kill somebody, so he bought a round that was specifically designed for killing, not for self-defense. Nice bake light mag, bro. Thank you. Do you like car arms? I don't like cars own guns, but I do like Desert Eagle, which they own. Guns are so feared in our culture, it's basically dependent on the judge. It's not dependent on the judge, because if you go to a trial for a self-defense shooting, it's usually a jury trial. If you're standing in front of a judge for judgment, it's because you've made a deal with the prosecution. I got to film the Apollo 11 review. I traded a revolver for it. Car is made in your hometown. Their base model pistols have polymer guide rails in them, so I don't like them at all. Makes you look like you want to fight, basically, pretty much. Yes, Car owns Auto Ordnance and Desert Eagle. Oh, I'm not saying Car isn't reliable, but I had which one was the base model? The PM9, the one with the polymer 9mm, and we took it to the range, and after mag dumping it like 4 times, it melted the guide rail. The front of the guide rail had deformed from the heat of the gun. Also, it has a metal, just an unfinished metal trigger in the PM9, and it heats up. Yeah, I don't care, Axel. Thank you for the donation, but you're still trying to bypass my filters. Yeah, Carr owns Magnum Research. No, it wasn't always the case. They've owned them since the end of the 90s. How were Magnum Research's 1911s? They don't manufacture their own 1911s. They actually use Bull Armory for their 1911s. They're pretty damn solid. Bull Armory makes some good stuff. What's the new best 380 out there? The new one to hit the market is the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 Comp. So it's a compensated. It's got a single port comp on the end of it. Any hollow point round you use can have that same Alcorn where they say you wanted to fight. No, not really. I mean, that's maybe in some states where they might try to argue that. But again, the biggest situation that will affect how you get handled when it comes to a self-defense shooting is the justifiability of the shoot along with how you as the individual handle it. There are so many bad advice channels on the internet, especially YouTube. All these dumb shits tend to just follow all this stupid ass advice saying shut your mouth, don't talk to anybody, and because you shouldn't incriminate yourself. Don't incriminate yourself, but don't just clam up. Don't refuse to talk. Don't fucking be adversarial with a police officer after you've taken somebody's life. You killed somebody. There's going to be questions. The way to handle that situation is the way Masad Ayub said it, and he is probably one of the foremost experts on testifying in self-defense cases. And the way he describes it, and the way I actually agree with, is if you're involved in a sticky wicket situation, what you need to say to whatever officer is on scene is, I intend to cooperate, but I need to speak to a lawyer. Candace, what is up? I heard good things about the Bull Armory guns from a certain shorts guy. Yeah, Bull Armory's good, man. Would you carry a 32 ACP? If it's what I decided to carry, yeah, man. Anything is better than nothing. Old video now, but Maximus Arms did a cool video on how they make 1911s from forgings. Okay. I hear you. I just don't understand how that makes things worse. Surely the purpose of the round is to stop the threat through massive force and pain, which often causes injury and death. It makes about as much sense as banning certain types of ammo or knives in theaters of war. The attacker is the one that has to be posing the threat of imminent death or grievous bodily harm to you. The person defending themselves, you are supposed to stop when the threat is stopped. You are not shooting to kill somebody. You are not shooting to destroy somebody. You are shooting to stop a threat. So depending on the shooting, depending on the situation, depending on how you handled it yourself and the situation, they will try to add charges, make things stick, try to change the outcome because they want a certain outcome. It's social political is the best way I can put it. Like if I'm trying to kill him to stop him killing me, is that seen as a wrong thing to do? Yes, because if you tell the police that you shot to kill him, you're going to be in big trouble. Number one, you never say you were shooting to kill. You were shooting to stop. I was shooting to stop the threat. Shooting to kill means you were intending to empty your magazine into this fool no matter what happened. Your intention was to cause as much trauma as possible to the other person. That's not the purpose of self-defense. Self-defense is to protect yourself. Once a threat is stopped, you stop applying force. Found out comps are banned in some states. I really did think gun laws could get that crazy. I guess I was naive. Yeah, it is insane, dude. 32, 25, 380 are made for forehead or face shots. Super deadly despite the size. 22, yeah, anything can do it. Paul Witt is speaking from experience on that one. Yeah. So 100%. There's some people out there that claim you shouldn't carry the same rounds as police officers. Some people will say you should. Some people say you should carry a Glock 22 because that's what the vast majority of cops carried. Some people say it makes you look like you're LARPing. Some people would say that if you drive now it's a Taurus, but if you drove an old Crown Vic that you were trying to pretend you were a cop. It all depends on the situation you find yourself in. Someone breaks into your house, you put them down, you're probably going to be fine. But if you're out at the movies and you just shoot a guy and you claim self-defense, it's going to cause questions. Bro, take a look at the BBR 310 45 ACP 10 round by Rock Island. Bro, look at the most viewed video on my channel under the videos tabs. Did the ATF make a ruling if they were cool with pinned and welded brakes now? In terms of what? Would you take 4 rounds of 45 or 20 rounds of 22 LR for a carry gun? I'll take 4 rounds because I aim. Thoughts on 6-hour MCX replacing the M4? Didn't know it was. Oh yeah, the 6.8 or 8.6 or whatever. I don't really care. I'm not in the military. I'm in love with the Caltech 9mm fold rifle. The sub 2K is fun, but there's too many other guns out there now that it's kind of lost its appeal. Hope you're hydrating. I drank sweet tea today, so. Yeah, Ultra Fire. Click off, go to my channel, and look at the most viewed video on there. 500,000 views on that gun. Would you feel conflicted with a 22, 32 ACP, or a 38? What do you mean conflicted? I own guns in all those calibers. I've carried a Colt Junior in 25 ACP before. Oh, would I feel confident? I feel confident with any as long as I practice with it. But the system here can't see the difference between an entrance and an exit. Jesus, Paul. No shit. Nice work. Yeah, I looked at one when they first came out. If you look at the comments, though, you can tell who watched the video and who didn't because I put in the title, Rock Island made a hilarious 1911. So everybody thought I was ripping on it. What packaging do you prefer with pistol? Plastic case, box with soft case, don't care, or other? I prefer a plastic case, honestly, just because for storage purposes. But if it comes in a cardboard box with a soft bag, I'm just as happy with that. Thank you for the question, Daria. Ruger RXM looks like a good daily carry. Yep, Sharps Bros are actually sending me one of their frames for that. What's up, Bass? I enjoy your other page. You did a good dog. You a good dog dad. Yeah, he's pretty good. Are you alive, Rocky? Rocky. Yeah, he's alive. He's sleeping. I always have to stop for a second and make sure he's breathing. I'm one of those dog dads. I'm like, God dang, I fed him chicken. He might be dead. 38 is actually a longer 380, and 380 and 9mm are related. 380 and 9mm are related. 38 is not a longer 380 because 38 is a rimmed cartridge. 380 is not. Sweet Jimmini Crickets, congratulations on not being able to type my channel name correctly and or putting a space in something. I'm sorry that your IQ is below the national level for retardation, and I hope you have a good life, Mr. Clayton. Tell Sharps Bros we need a coupon code. Yeah, I did tell them that. Armory Craft, if you go to Armory Craft and you order something, put in Jim5, J-I-M, Jimmini. Yeah, Jimmini, Jimmini 5, and you get 5% off there. That woke him up. That was a dick move. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. He's like, I'm going to shit on your bed later. Random question. Is the play button in a case, or is that all one piece? That is a new play button, so all it is a piece of mirrored glass underneath a cover. You added some guns to the wall. I brought back a couple of my guns that were on pawn, and then I traded for a couple of guns. So I have a Para-Ordnance LDA now that I've been thinking about trading a buddy of mine for a while, and a Live Free Armory Apollo 11 that I traded a revolver for. Have you ever seen a 380 and a 38 special next to each other? They have the same diameter. That's about it. I'm still smoking amphetamines in the back of Circle K. Nice. How do you get away with the name Shitball? That's interesting. HK started to be friendly with the U.S. private market. Oh, no, they're still taking every goddamn penny you got. They're just making more guns now. I forget, how is 38 special measured? Like it's the same bullet diameter as 357, but it's measuring the rim or something for some reason. I can't remember the things about it. I'm not a revolver guy. I just know anytime I talk about revolvers, everybody corrects me. Also, I like to slam the cylinders closed just to make people shit themselves. Still cool, but are the videos where people are shooting actual play buttons fake? Sometimes not. You can order them off of Temu. You can get exact copies off of Temu for like $40. I was actually thinking about doing that. I was gonna shoot one. I might reach out to YouTube because that one's fallen off the wall a couple of times. So the main part of it has a couple of dents. So I might see if they'll send me another one just so I can shoot that one with a Barrett. That was an absolutely savage dismemberment of Clayton. True, always MP5s and Ks in stock. Get my shields and want one so bad, but so expensive. Dude, get the Mac version, the SDS Arms Mac 5 if you want one, or the PTR MP5 clone. The PTR is actually built on old HK tooling. It'll take all the HK parts. And the PTR has the rail welded to the top already. That would be hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know if they'll send me another one, though, because I think they said in the email I got that they won't send a replacement if I lose it. Which is kind of shitty if you ask me. Woohoo! My order from Bursa has shipped it. I always find it when plenty car about flicking the cylinder in, it's like they think handling a literal explosion is fine, but a little rough handling is the equivalent of nuking it. Yeah, I mean, can you possibly damage a gun by doing stuff like that? Yes. Are the odds of it great? No. It's the same reason why in all the shorts videos when I drop an empty slide, I meow. It's because Masad Ayub, because he's a spokesman for Wilson Combat, was telling new shooters not to do it, and he says every time you do that, a cat loses its tail or some stupid thing. So now I do it on purpose, because I purposely sat with a Rock Island 1911, and over the course of a weekend dropped the slide on an empty chamber probably 5,000 times, just to see if it would damage the extractor, the ejector, or any of the internal components. And a Rock Island has MIM parts in it, no damage. What's the first milestone to get a button? 100,000 subs. Never answered my question. Is 22, 32, 380? No. If you have a 22 and only a 22, then it's a perfectly serviceable carry. It's all about your ability to use and accurately fire those guns, man. I shit my pants. Hey, Johnny, come over here and ship your pants. Oh, Dad, I can't wait to ship my pants. Final question. Is there any sense at all in using 22 long rifle in self-defense from humans? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out into your shed or your garage, take a ball peen hammer, and smack the back of your hand with it. A 22 long rifle hurts more than that, and it will burn when it penetrates your skin. But think, while you're in pain from hitting yourself in the hand with a hammer, would you continue doing what you were doing before you hit yourself in the hand with a hammer? Anything can be effective if used correctly. Anything can be a deterrent if used correctly. People say that 22 is ineffective. Sure, against a dude that's hopped up on adrenaline, bath salts, and PCP. But if you shoot me with the 22, I'm running the other way like a little bitch. You carry black box hollow point 380 sometimes? There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Also, how does dry firing hurt a firing pin when again it's already handling like a literal explosion? Yeah, it's another one of those great mysteries. I understand on 22 rimfire because it can smack the back of the chamber, and that rete is perfect proof of it. It's got such a heavy spring that it would destroy the firing pin. But I'm with you. I don't know why anybody still believes dry firing a center fire firearm is bad for it. It's not. Outside of revolvers where the firing pin is built into the hammer, I do not recommend dry firing those because there is a chance that things could happen to that. I would just use an old spent cartridge as a dry firing or get a snap cap, but it doesn't, man. But a lot of information comes from manufacturers. They're like, hey, don't do this with your gun because they have to cater to 95% of the public. They aren't worried about the 5% of the public that knows what the frick they're doing with their products. It's like sports cars, high-end muscle cars, or hypercars. Every car manufactured is not built to the limit of what it's capable of. Every car manufactured, even a goddamn Prius, is capable of more than what it's released to the public with because there has to be built-in safety tolerances because there are a lot of stupid fuckers out there. How do I feel about the Taurus Judge? It's fine. I've shot him a few times. That's the polymer one. So it's, a little bit more kick. 22 long rifle hurts, can vouch, but I lived. Yeah, absolutely. The odds of you living from a 22 are much higher. What's a 32 compared to? How powerful is it? Roughly half as powerful as a 9mm, maybe? I feel that I'm in close quarters, life-death situation. I can smoke an adversary with 22. I'll only miss once or twice, maybe. Everybody has an idea on how they think they'll handle an emergency situation until they get into it, and I'm no different. I'm not going to say I would or not. I can say that I've been in situations where I thought I might have to pull my firearm, but I didn't shit myself like I thought I would. Damn, it shattered your scapula. Damn. I like training with 22. There's nothing wrong with that, Big Daddy. Mr. Not So Mean said, hi. That's all you have? Then yeah, but shot placement is important with those rounds. There's stories and there's documented proof out there of little old ladies in the frickin' backwoods of the Appalachian Mountains taking out a grizzly with a fucking 22 because they shot it in the eye. I don't wear glasses anymore, so that emoji doesn't make sense. You took a 40 to the shin and didn't even have to go to the hospital. What the fuck, Paul? Do 22 bounce around the body like once claimed? No. 22 is typically average as a 40 grain bullet. Once it hits tissue and bone and things like that, it's gonna stop. It would have to make a lucky bounce to bounce. You're not hollow inside. You're not a steel tube. The sloths look cozy. Yeah, they are. Paul says, and I'm a little guy. Heard someone getting shot point blank in the back of the head with 32 and he survived, made a full recovery. Oh, yeah, there's a video out there of this kid being interviewed by the police in an interrogation room, and he said he got shot in the head. And it turns out that his buddy had shot him in the head with a 25 ACP, and he was still conscious. He was groggy, but he was talking. Never had to draw it down either. I just feel like you get more 22 on target in a high-stress scenario. I bet you $100, Pig Daddy, that if you train hard with a 22, a 45, a 9, whatever caliber, you will be as effective with any caliber as you would with that 22. It all comes down to your training and your muscle memory. If you train as much with a 9 as you do with the 22, you will be as accurate with the 9 as you are with the 22. Look at Pewview, man. He's absolutely a machine gun with 9mm. Featureless rifle versus maglock. I tell you what I would buy, Eli. I would buy a fucking ticket out of that state. Final question. What do you think of bullpup rifles, carbines, etc.? Better or worse than front-loading weapon systems? Terrible. You just took your trigger and put it on a 8-inch bar to make it run at a different location in the firearm. Why? Because you want a shorter overall length? Why? What if I have to clear my house? How often have you ever had to clear your house? Never. Bullpups were designed primarily with full auto in mind. 90% of the bullpups that are on the market are from countries that use them in full auto form. In full auto, you do this and gun go brrr. In the United States, where they cuck the shit out of our rights, bullpups have to go click, 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 click. So by adding in a 5 to 8 inch bar between the trigger and the actual activation of the action of the gun, you create a shitty trigger. 300 rounds with 9mm, you could be stacking holes on holes. Do I look like the elbow? I open and carry a Kentucky long rifle. I don't know what that is. I'm certified. What if you upgrade the trigger? You still have a remote trigger system, dude. There aren't a lot of triggers that will make them feel good. Adding more parts equals more things to go wrong and fail. Bullpups are fun guns. Oh, they're fun range toys. I've got a bullpup shotgun, and I've got the what's the name of that one? So at 22, where the chassis, I can't remember the name of it. Should I buy it? It's an old one that I've had forever. Should I buy a 1911 45 mag when I'm old enough to purchase a gun? You mean 45 HEP? Why not? Sure, go for it. Rhode Island is a decent carry state, so is New Hampshire if you're in the Northeast. Yeah, but you got frickin' rust. I'd love to get that 3-shot automatic. Get the light skins is. Can you put an FRT in a bull pump? Can you make the trigger feel like a regular AR trigger? No. Well, you could probably make it feel like a mil-spec trigger, but why would you want to do that? It's still going to be a shit trigger. You can't... Here's the thing, brother, and I understand that you are actually asking because you're curious, so I don't take offense to it, but I also want to explain this. And I want you to understand when I explain it, I'm trying to be as clear as I can. If you don't understand it, I get it. What I want you to do is stand up and go to your light switch and using the finger on your hand, turn your light switch on and off. Now, grab your broom, back away from that, and try to do it. It's going to feel like shit. Grab a 2x4, which is technically a stiffer interface, and try it again. It's still never going to be as good as direct contact to the action of the gun. So the real question is, do you carry that subcompact 1911 Rock Island? No, dude, that video was so long ago. It was a new gun that I wasn't even messing with. I just did the video on it because I was working at a different gun store at the time. Is Beretta better? Beretta better than what? Yo, what gun will you save if there's a zombie apocalypse? If there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm surviving that shit, and there's going to be a lot of dead people in my front lawn. How did it go shooting the Chronicle? I haven't shot it yet. I had dog issues. Rocky needed a bath, but I couldn't find his vaccination paperwork in my pamphlet, so he couldn't get a bath because PetSmart refuses to do anything with the dog until you prove vaccinations. Appreciate the answers and the time. No problem, Sharp. How are you doing tonight? My back and shoulder hurts, but we started the live and had a lot of people. I think the shadow ban is just about over. What would you say would be a good AR? One that you treat well and take out so that it can drain its... No, Diamondback, Radical, IWI Zion, FN 15, Daniel Defense, Colt, the older ones, the Stag Arm stuff. Those are all good ones. Good comparison with the light switch. It's the easiest thing I could come up with because it's something you can directly touch versus remotely touch. That new Kel-Tec 5.7 is a beast. It loads from the top, no clip. It's easier to load with a clip, though. Also, there is an issue with that gun. Try taking the rounds out without racking the slide. You can't. What would you suggest for a home defense SBR pistol, 9mm, 300 blackout, 5.56? If it's a pistol, it doesn't matter. The answer is the same. 300 blackout. Would over-penetration be a concern with any of these, even the hollow points? If over-penetration is one of your concerns, then I highly suggest, and I'm not saying this to be facetious, but if you live in an area where it could even be a consideration, then yeah, you want to go with something that's going to be slower. So a 9mm hollow point reduces the odds. 5.56 has the highest chance of over-penetration. 300 blackout subsonic with soft points will probably be safe for most situations, but also please make sure to exhibit the 4 basic rules of handgun. Number 4 being know your target and what's beyond. Just make sure that if you're unleashing the beast, that you know that you're not taking down somebody's pet goldfish. FAMAS seemed like and interesting, like France used it as a bullpup and it's full auto. Full auto is definitely more interesting. Oldest gun brand made. Technically, Beretta is the oldest weapons manufacturer in the world. Never carried for Kel-Tec. Kel-Tec's hilarious, man. I've never seen more coke fiends make guns in my life. Yo, but what if you waste all your ammo in the zombie apocalypse? Then I get to become a zombie. Putting 500 rounds through my Bear Creek tomorrow to test function. Let me know how it goes on the next live. What's your favorite gun on the wall behind you? Technically my Dan Wesson DWX. Depending on how much you shoot for a regular guy who don't shoot 10,000 rounds, got a Smith & Wesson Me Sport, and it's legit. Mil spec besides the forward assist. Dude, that's all you need, man. I mean, I'm only shooting like 1,500 rounds a month myself. Yeah, I hear the police use hollow points to avoid over-penetration. Yeah. What's the cheapest pistol you trust with your life? Like, out of the box, probably like a Taurus G2, G3 line, but even then it'd be questionable. It's a hard question to answer. I mean, how often are you going to use your forward assist? Oh, all the time. I like to slow load. I stop it from loading all the way so that it catches on the forward assist. Been around since 1500 something. Yeah, it's been around since the 1600s, actually, I believe. The 16th century? No, the 1600s. Like 1640 something. What's the best AR caliber in your opinion? Nowadays, 300 blackout, but the old reliable 5.56 is one of the best rounds. I just watched 28 years later. They still had ammo after 28 years. Yeah, that's not exactly difficult. This 50 BMG is from 1942. So this round is 83 years old, and it still fires. Actually, I liked my old Jimenez. I had the JA9 and then the JA40 and the J22. Cheapest reliable out of the box choice for me is a Springfield XD. Got mine for $300. Yeah. What's your thoughts about 7.6239 out of an AR platform? I've got 3. I've got the CMMG Mutant. I've got and 2 Radical RF 47s. How do you know if it still fires? Because we took a whole bunch of this out and fired it. How much guns do you have? I don't actually know, Dolores. I don't count them. I mean, there were 10 guns on the wall last week. Touche. If I was dirt poor for a pistol, Taurus, and rifle, or MP and Ruger, the rest is flexing. Everybody starts somewhere. When I started this channel, I was just borrowing guns. I've only been in the gun world since 2017, October of 2017. So less than 8 years I've been doing this. What's the best way to make sure you have a good, reliable built 7.62 by 39 out of a platform? I heard they have problems. Good mags. Duramag makes a very reliable 7.62 39 in the Stanag mag pattern, which is what ARs and M4s are using. And shooting the gun a lot. Making sure you figure out what it needs. Honestly, I only like 7.62 by 39 because of you like the AKM. Otherwise, I wouldn't consider it. I'd love an AK Alpha 109. Jimenez is in the same category as High Point, in my opinion. Actually, High Point's probably better built. You ever build guns? Brandon videos make me want to get the permits. No, you need an 0702 to manufacture. I don't want one because it's $500 extra a year on top of my normal years. If stored correctly, ammo doesn't go bad. No, if it's stored in climate-controlled conditions and humidity-controlled conditions, ammo will be ammo for an extremely long time. What can degrade in here is simply the powder can degrade. But the odds of that happening under proper conditions, it's like there are wines that are hundreds of years old that are technically drinkable. Sadly went backwards. I had better guns than got disabled. I had to go with the vest. Had to go with vest for cash. I got HK and fancy stuff before. Shit happens, dude. I've done that too. There was a time in my life where I had 3 guns left. Do I believe in Jesus? I don't answer religious questions. I believe in a higher power. I don't believe in one that takes attendance. Is 12.5 good length for a AR-15 7.62 by 39? It's serviceable. Sorry, I took a shower. Don't be sorry you took a shower. I don't hunt deer because I've never gone hunting. It's not that I wouldn't, it's just that I don't. Everyone make sure to like the stream. Let's get it to 150. It's not getting there, dude. We've had an average of 40 people. I shot 12 gauge from 1961. Trap ammo. They all went bang. Yeah, pretty much. Is that round in your hand? Was it in a Spam can? This round was not. It came to us in an ammo can along with a bunch of other rounds. So this is a silver tip. I also have an 8-pit round and then some black tip, which are the good ones. I like 1911s, Dolores. So silver tip, I believe, is incendiary, if I'm not wrong. Red tip is tracer, I believe. 50 BMG silver tip. So there you go. This is the M8 API silver tip. 662 grain projectile with gray tip. The projectile has an armor-piercing hardened steel core and point filler of incendiary. So this is actually the armor-piercing incendiary. So this is an 8-pit round, or it's an API round. If it was the, if it had a red band around it, it would also be the 8-pit, which is the armor-piercing incendiary tracer round. I knew I had, I have 8-pits, but I also have armor-piercing incendiaries. Black tip is standard armor-piercing, yes. I used my electric razor in the shower for the first time. I used an electric toaster in my previous life. Show us some tracer rounds. I don't have them just laying around. Somebody asked me last week what the biggest round I had laying around was. Yo, Aesop, my boy, what's up, man? Should tracer rounds be used in self-defense situations? Not really. It gives away your position. I really missed my 20 gauge sawed-off one shot. I'm so sad over it. You can get another one. What caliber is that AP round? This is 50 BMG. And I'm trying not to touch the 3D printed thing. So 50 BMG is an anti-material round. It is not actually a sniper round. It's never been a sniper round. It can be used for long distance shooting. This is a 416 Barrett. As you can see, the bullet is almost the same length, but it's much thinner. And it's a little bit shorter, but this is a much more accurate round over distance than even this round. Wow, that's a big boy round. Yep, I got a 10 gauge I'm afraid to shoot. You should shoot it! Took my 9mm Chronicle to the range today and fired another 200 rounds with no issues. Tuning the extractor and ditching the Metgar mags for Cormix did the trick. Still clunky feeling though. Did you know if you go to Chip McCormick's, I think it's Chip McCormick's website, you can actually trade your Metgars in for $7 and get new mags? I get upset that barrel length rules exist. We can have a pistol but can't have a 12-inch 12-gauge barrel. What the fuck? Yeah, you can have a shockwave. 416 Barrett is what I saw them shooting at the range outside here. It made a huge concussion and blasted everything around it. Oh yeah, if you look at the diameter, it's the same diameter, but it comes out of a much smaller firearm. So a 416 Barrett is about the same size gun as like a 338 Lapua. When these come out of like the Barrett M82, M107s, a 30-pound gun. This comes out of like 7-pound gun with a much smaller overall design. So these are probably a lot louder. Hey Joe, is my messages coming through? That one did. Sucks that we can't chop what we got, but yes, you're right. Another thing you can do, Joshua, it's expensive to find because they don't manufacture it right now. But SB Tactical made a brace kit for the Shockwave that gives it a pistol brace and a pistol grip. So you got to be careful with any other weapons. Just because the manufacturer stamps AOW on the receiver doesn't automatically mean it's going to qualify. The 416 Barrett was horrible. It had a muzzle brake on it too. It was so loud. Yeah. So the muzzle brake on my current AR is pretty damn loud. It's got a 6-port muzzle brake that on the sides of it. It's pretty loud. How do I feel about 44 Super? Never really shot it. MC says, interesting. True, yes, I'm aware I drooled, but you're right. It's because it's legal. Doesn't mean blue lights won't come. Yeah, but on the other side of the thing is, I have been at the range in West Virginia where I'm a member of a shooting club, and one day I was shooting wasn't even thinking about it. I was sighting in an AR for a guy without realizing it was a pistol with a stock on it, and a cop walked up and didn't say a word. Just a heads up, I found that Barnes PHP ammo feeds the smoothest in the Chronicle. So that's cool to know, but mine is in 45, so we'll see what happens. The 45 really doesn't have a feed ramp at all, so we'll see what happens. Magazine is a bigger change, and we'll see what happens with the ejector. I'm old because I'm sticking to the definitely legal stuff. I don't need the drama. Yeah, it makes sense. You were lucky he didn't notice. Oh, he noticed. He noticed right away. He didn't ask me for the papers for my suppressor either. He didn't give a shit. Most cops don't care. Also, Virginia and West Virginia are primarily two-way sanctuaries. So what that means is those counties that decided to become two-way sanctuaries do not enforce the laws that are considered not legal, like the brace ban. 98 out of 104 counties in Virginia said they would not enforce the pistol brace should it have become illegal when they were trying to make them illegal. Most of the counties in the state of Virginia said, fuck that. They weren't going to enforce it. Oh, no, yeah, it's a gamble. Just act like it was you're a pro. Good thing he didn't say anything. Awesome. And some cops are gun guys. Dude, he let me, I couldn't shoot it because it was his service weapon, but he let me out that he was running the new 47 at the time. I let him shoot my personal AR-15 and my suppressed Taurus. So, yeah, I didn't know that about Virginia. Yeah, Virginia was cool with it. So, just that my Chronicle is still fitted better than my Colt. My newer Colt is atrocious. Yeah, the very last couple of years of Colt before CZ bought it, I don't like. We had a Colt Gold Cup match come in for a customer, and it had the wrong. It was a National Gold Cup match or Gold Cup National match. It was supposed to have that 2-hole squared off trigger, and it came in with a standard Gold Cup trigger in it. If you watch the video I sent you where the California cop converted his Tavor to featureless and he did it wrong. No, I did not. I'll have to double check. 47 before most seen him. Awesome. Yeah, no, they were carrying them, and he just showed it to me. It was pretty cool. I don't care for breaking the law. I never break the law, ATF guy who might be watching this. SKS versus AK-47. What are you going with? So I used to have a really nice SKS-D with the detachable AK mag. Well, technically it was an SKS mag. I liked that a lot, but I'd probably go with the AK just because it's going to run just about every piece of shit ammo I put through it. Good job, everyone. We hit 100 likes. Oh, I guess I need to refresh my page because I'm stuck at 80. Ha! We're only at 99. My Colt had a smooth barrel out of the box, absolutely zero rifling in it. That's not good. Not bueno. It's what sucks. Even a gun guy can accidentally mess up these days, like a sideways forward grip is illegal. Yeah. I just liked. Mine says 101. Damn it! Yeah, I'm not staying on for 51 more likes, bro. We got 36 minutes. That ain't gonna happen. Hey, all you punks, hit the like button. There's only 35 people in here. Even if everybody hit it, we wouldn't get there. Say it with me. Coto perfecto. When you choose an EDC, the Glock 19, what made you go that route? Ha! The last time I EDC'd a Glock, it was to throw it away. Are there any Gucci AR-15s you think are not overrated despite costing 2.5 to 4K, e.g. KR, CAC, SR-15, LMT, Mars, HK, MR556, etc.? Would you rather call it a day with the BCM or something? I would go with the Q Sugar Weasel, which is about a $1,600 rifle, and call it a day because it's pretty damn cool. The job they do finishing them is pretty damn impressive. But I actually prefer custom-built rifles like mine up there. However, I do agree that it gets stupidly expensive to custom-build a rifle. If you duplicate the rifle I have up there, it's like a $4,500 rifle, and it's stupid. Luckily, I didn't pay for any of the parts in it, so... I appreciate you letting me hang. I hate to be corny, but I appreciate you. No worries, Joshua. Just stay cool, and you're good, man. Hello, Jenks. Hello. I learned life is short to not tell people how we feel in case we can't later. Yeah. Concerning Glocks, millions of people can't be wrong, can they? I don't know. Millions of people voted for Biden. Does the Sugar Weagle have roller delayed blowback? No, it's a standard AR-15. It's just very highly finished. I dream of a kill like a honey badger or sugar weasel. Yes, I love sugar weasel. The honey badger for the pores. Literal quote from Q themselves. Why did I go Scottish? Yeah, also if you read the full bump on the Q sugar weasel, it also says when you go to the range, rock that shit. My goal with the Chronicle is to make a reliable daily beater 1911. I think I've accomplished that. Fingers crossed. It sounds like you fixed all your issues, Daniel. I'm doing something a little bit different. Recovered Tactical is sending me their 1911 chassis system, and I'm going to throw an optic on it. I want to build a reliable 1911 PDW for under $500. Do you have a crossbow? No, but I do have compound bow. They should make an AR with a roller delay system. They do. It's called the CMMG Banshee, but it's a 9mm 45 and 10. Poor Biden can't remember if his presence was a dream or reality. No politics. That just my opinion. Yeah, no. When I bring up something like that, I'm doing it more in a humor sense. I'm really not getting into the politics. What's a good AK brand if you have any recommendations? Arsenal Firearms, Zastava Firearms. Some of the Century stuff like the BFT, the Bulge Front Trunnion is pretty solid. There's so many custom builders out there. But yeah, if you want one that's a mass-produced one, get a Zastava Z-Pap. I think tracer rounds or armor-penetrating rounds would be used for self-defense. Not particularly, Wavy. I don't know much about rifles. No worries, dude. A 9mm Banshee would have been nice. Aren't they like an odd delayed action? They're roller delayed blowback. Or roller delayed, excuse me. They're not straight blowback. They're very good, very flat shooting. Last time I was at the range, there was a guy shooting a micro Draco from 10 yards or less, and rounds were spraying all over his target. Yeah, I can understand that, Ultra. Do I still have the Kel-Tec 12 gauge? Yes, the KS7, yep. I want the T-Sauce stakeout. I'm trying to find one without ordering. How do I feel about the Mossberg 9mm pistol? I had one of the first ones, the one that took the Glock 43 mags, and it shot good. It had a weird-ass takedown. You had to take off the striker plate in order to take that gun apart. I have not messed with the MC2C yet. I do want to get one, but it's funny. I was at the Atlanta NRA show, and Mossberg was there, and I'm like, man, this gun is decent. It just doesn't get enough publication. And the dudes at Mossberg were like, yeah, man, it's just another 9mm. They didn't give a shit. What does more damage, 322s or a 9mm? Depends on where you put them. What's your favorite animal, and why is it a sloth? Because they're tasty. Nice, yeah, I forgot what kind of delay they use. It's not like an HK, I don't think it's... so the HK MP5 uses roller delay blowback. Does the Kel-Tec 12 gauge work? Yes. The KS series. So the single tube is called the KS7. The double tube is called the KSG. Mossberg internal for the pistol is odd. I got an orange plastic piece, no backplate. Yep. Yeah, their guns are weird, but they work. I liked it. And if the shield arm mags had existed when that gun first came out, I would probably still have it. I don't have the double tube gun. I can easily get one for you, though. My buddy's pawn shop, he's got like 4 of them. I agree about the mags for the Mossberg. Yep. There are 2 AKs I want, an Izmash AKM or the Ziaben AK-12. Nice. Nah. Just become an oligarch. You'll get them. Any reason a ported pistol is a plus? Yes, recoil control. Played with the M2C, and I thought it felt pretty good in my hands. I need to reach out to them. I'm thinking about doing it, too. I should. Hey, 33, what's up? Gunwall looks healthy. What are your thoughts on buy one, get one manufacturer promotions? Like guns? I'm down. I mean, just in general, it devalues whatever they're doing when they do that. It's either a model they're discontinuing, when it talks about stuff like that, or even if you're talking about shoes and things like that. I can tell you that everybody's pricing is a lie. There's no such thing as market value and a sale price. If they put on a pair of shoes that it's worth $99, but they're selling them for $49, that means those shoes are worth $49. They're not worth $99 because nobody paid $99. If they all paid $99, there would be no $49 shoes. So sales are a lie. Sales are a scam. Don't believe sales. Buying in bulk is not the same. Would ported make it louder though? Oh yeah, 100%. I shot the Fusion Firearms ported gun and it felt like my goddamn AK because you also get a concussive blast back at you. You ever shot a Glock 20, and if you did, you have problems with it feeding? Mine has failure to feed every 3 rounds. That sounds like a weird issue with your gun. Possibly your recoil spring. If I was rich, a VZ style 7.62 short one, I don't have any short rifles. They think I want a short 12 or short 9 or a short 3. Oh, god damn, I'm tired. Or 300 black, nice. And no, I'm not limp wristing. No, it sounds like an actual function issue with the gun. If you were limp wristing, it would be stovepiping, not failure to feeds. Over $85 for shoes you're getting took. Dude, I paid $2 for Skechers at a SPCA. Damn, wow. What? Yeah. Do you use CO2 or electric? For my dildos? I'm all natural, bud. Are you allowed to buy full autos? Yes, everybody's allowed to buy full autos as long as you buy a pre-86 that's registered. Glad I'm not the only one who noticed concussive blast from ported barrels. Oh no, dude, I noticed 100%. I have got several comped guns They have a little bit louder noise report, but damn, when it's ported and comes back an inch and a half on the barrel, it blows that shit right up, man. It really feels like an AR-15 when you shoot them. You had nose-up feed malfunction with my Glock 21, send it back to Glock. The good thing about Glock is they will fix any problem with any of their guns, unless they can prove it's your fault. A lot of pistol caliber guns have very flat feed ramps, don't make sense. You don't need a feed ramp if the gun has good mag designs. Feed ramp is for variance. It's not for functionality of individual rounds either. Is a Kel-Tec KSG big? I mean, it's got a full 18.5-inch barrel, so, I mean, yeah, but not really. Its barrel length is probably going to be, when you get the Tavor, it'll feel about the same size as the KSG. Airsoft gun feels like an AR-15 when I use it. What does that entail, Joe, getting a full auto? If you buy what's called a full transferable automatic gun, that's a gun built before 1986 that is registered in the United States as a full auto, all you need to do is find the gun, pay for the gun, and fill out your tax stamp, which is $200 just like a suppressor. However, the cost on full auto transferable machine guns is so extreme compared to dealer samples. With a Class 3 license, I can get a Glock 18C. I saw Stone's name, that's why I'm saying it. I can get a Glock 18 for $3,500. I can get an M16A2 for $7,000. An M16A2 full transferable is about $80,000. True buddy, my made design is key. Yep. Who makes the absolute finest 1911 mag in your opinion? Wilson Combat. I want to have M&P Bodyguard in hand. I just want one, but my backup is a Kel-Tec 380. Can't get much smaller besides LCP. That's true. Oh, I'm not intending to buy a pre-86. You can get dealer samples with the license. Yep, 100%. Yeah, I can buy H&K MP5 with 3 suppressors for $15,000. Just throw an FRT in that baby for $499. Yeah, that's a little bit different though, Ultra. I mean, FRT is still not a full auto experience unless you install it wrong. You can get flush base plates with Wilson Combats, I believe. Do I have Down syndrome? God bless you. Sorry, man, I'm all out. I gave it to your mom. Don't look in a mirror. She gave it to you. Well, if we aren't in a shit hits a fan situation, I can fully auto it myself, right? Shit hits a fan situation. The U.S. government has collapsed, and everybody's fighting everybody else. Sky's the limit, bro. Everybody's boat will mysteriously surface with all their lost parts. Drunk. I don't really care. I did a video on ported versus non-ported, but people didn't let it. But PopTube didn't let it get very many views. Yeah, you got to do a lot more shorts than you do long videos. That's what I find. Patriot. So I'm doing basically one short a day. I didn't do one today because I didn't feel like it. I was doing them on the other channel. You should definitely do at least one a day. You really got to want full auto to get full auto. And here's what I'm going to say to you. A Glock 18C, I believe, fires at what? 600 rounds a minute? Maybe even faster than that? That's 10 rounds a second. So every 5 seconds, that's $15. And you got to load that shit. Semis make practical I'm gonna die situation in my opinion. I don't want to dump all my ammo in 3 seconds. Pretty much. Full auto pistols are suppressive fire. They are not accuracy. I'm gonna watch your review of the Taurus TH40 you did a couple years ago. Yeah, that gun was fine. I made the mistake of using that 1776 compressed core ammo and it gave me a bad squib. My internet is lagging. I'm going to restart it after stream. No worries, dude. I think a Glock would fire at like 1,200. Is it that many? My brain was saying, but I thought it was 6, but it might be 12. If it's 1,200, that's even crazier. That means every 2.5 seconds you're going through 16 bucks. Yep, 1,200 rounds per minute. You're right. So yeah, every 2 seconds you're going through $15. So think about that. $15 every 2 seconds. So you can go through $450 a minute if you had a fully loaded mag that could carry that many rounds. Full auto 22 is the only way to make you happy and not kill your wallet. I don't know, man. It'll kill your wrist loading one of those American 180s. Fast fire like a Thompson, they said was too fast even if ammo is for free. Thompsons are not actually that fast, though. Yeah, some pistols can be bump fired pretty close to that rate of fire, too. Slides go fast. Yeah. They call the Thompson the Chicago typewriter because it's not super fast. Thompson cyclic rate. Holy shit, it was as fast as the Glock. Nope, they weren't. The 1921, the M1928 were slowed down to 800 rounds per minute. The very original 1919 was the fast one. The 1919 went up to 1,500 rounds per minute, but they reduced the cyclic rate in the 21s and the 28s to 800 rounds per minute. I'm guessing they were uncontrollable and they were just burning through ammo the other way. I've never shot an MP40. Full auto 300 blackout with suppressor sounds amazing. Damn. Yeah, 1,500 rounds a minute is extreme. Post shorts pretty much every day, but recently gets discouraged when back-to-back videos barely hit my 100 views. Oh, that sucks, brother. Everybody that's still here, all 28 of you, if you aren't subscribed to Patriot Arms, go over there right now. The grease gun is 4 to 450. Some people can do faster on semi with the 1911 or a good Geisley trigger. Dude, if you ever watch PewView, he sounds like he's probably going about 600 rounds a minute. He has split times of 0.12s when he does the bill drill. So that means that he's running 6 rounds in 1.1 second. So he's a little bit slower, but man, when he gets going, he's fast as fork, boy. You okay, buddy? Yeah, you good? All right, we'll go to bed in a minute. Everybody, PV's a monster, and then there's freaking no-hand shooter. Yeah, he had him on there. Yeah, Mouse, I see ya. You okay, Jimmini? I'm fine. What's up? What happened? You subbed? Good. Yeah, I think Tommy Gun was fast and they slowed it down. I don't know, I wasn't there. Yeah, from what I saw on the Googles, they slowed them down in the second and third generations of the gun. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the 1921 and the 1928 had a different system because they were designed to work with the drum mags. So they were slightly different. I can't remember which one is. I think it's the 28s that have the top cocking handle. He's fine, HST. He's getting late and he's got a new dog. It's a good job to have a fur baby. I just, I worry about my little buddy over here. I gave him chicken and just making sure he's good. That's a lot of pew-pews. It's fine. So I believe the other guy was right. I believe the cyclic rate. Oh, nice! Friday. I'm getting another gun here. Oh. What the fuck? Somebody tried charging one of my credit cards. Good luck, buddy. I have 3-factor authentication. Uh, 500 to 550 rounds was the MP40. Can't imagine how much it would cost to spend a full day shooting a Tommy gun. There's a reason why they were used in theaters of war and not usually by American civilians. Yeah, it would be very expensive. I've seen some of That Ain't Bad's shorts. What kind of Friday gun? It's a gun for the store. It was on sale through Palmetto State. It's the SAR B69. I was able to get it using my dealer account, so we got it for $200. Gotcha. 28s were the top charging, and the 1919s were the side chargers. MP40 sounds like a fun shooter. Yeah, pretty controllable with that. I always feel corny, but it's actually just being mature, a good dog for a good man, and a few guns is all's right with the world. Dude, I'm 100% happy right now in terms of that. Personally, I'm very satisfied. I'm also very relieved that my dog is a dog, and he's not a lap dog. He's not a skittish dog. He's just a dog, man. That's what I wanted. What do they call it? Theaters of war. I'm not 100% sure. That's a good question. You got a dealer account with PSA? Yep. Man's best friend, not the pistol. Now, you're still $1 million shy of being a millionaire. Ah, I'm only $1 million shy of being a millionaire until the bank opens. Eventually, we got to find a decent optic for the Tavor. Oh, dude, just put it's a Tavor. Get a Romeo and Juliet, the red dot with the 3-power swing away. What's your most expensive item? Well, considering that Rocky will probably live for another 12 to 14 years, I'm going to say the dog. He's family, Joe. Your family, Rocky. I live my life 1/4 dog at a time. Call it theater works. It used to be fields and the rich would come and watch from afar like a movie. Meh. Your dog just wanted a good human. I'm certain he's very happy with you too. He's always smiling, but I do know deep down in my heart of hearts that if I died, he'd eventually eat me. Unless I dry out. He doesn't like dry food. You should do a yeet cannon giveaway. Giving away guns on YouTube is extremely difficult. There are some people that have been getting away with it, and it's odd. YouTube, in terms of service, says you can't give away firearms. Dealer pricing or see what walks in the store regarding optics. Either or. Depends on how fast you want them. You got the SAR B6C for 180 plus all the BS. Yeah, I missed that one. The main thing I get with the dealer account is I don't have to pay tax because I'm a reseller and I get free shipping. Man's best friend, and they are known to eat humans, but just because they're alone and hungry. They'll find my corpse a long time before he gets hungry. You think he'd be good with wild animals or herding? Maybe. He has no problem with strange dogs or people or noises. They're tearing down the building next to my store, and it doesn't bother him at all. Any specific ammo recommendations for comp 9mm handguns? You want a hotter load because you are going to lose some velocity, but not a terrible lot. Comps and ports will usually lose on average, about 100 feet per second in the ammo, so get something that's a little bit hotter and it'll be fine. Don't need it fast, it has irons built in, and I have a 25-yard indoor range. There you go. A cat will eat you same day, dogs a week. Some cats will start licking you before you're dead. Sadly, we all die. The sooner we realize that, the sooner we live better. Really harsh. Realities are harsh. Yeah, well, I've already died once. I'm not a big fan of it, so. Pretty new to rifles. Nice. Dodge, he's a member of a indoor range. He doesn't own one himself. Hey, all you new people, subscribe to the channel or you're a bunch of dicks. That's what you can expect from me moving forward. If you come back here and you visit me and I call you a jerkball dick brain, know that from the deepest part of my heart, I absolutely mean it. The other day, I forgot Rocky's name because I was calling him Dingbat the whole day. All dogs go to heaven. They better. Every dog I've had was from a family member who died, and I took them other dogs they breed in homes in my life, and I had so many it's hard. Yeah, that sucks, Joshua. I wish I had a private range. That is another life goal. Moved to Texas, and I heard Texas makes an excellent outdoor range. All right, kids, I'm going to do one more walkthrough of the wall, and then I'm going to cut out. I was late getting in here, so I'm going to leave it early because it'll even out. And if you try to understand what I just said, you're crazier than I am. We need Jimmini Show 1911 leather holsters. Only if I can make them out of my choice of leather, it's going to probably be Drifter. With 7.5 inch, 5.56 for like a high powered. No. 7.5 inch will still be super deadly. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Unfortunately, everything, Luke. We're about to end. Do you like the 41 Magnum? Never shot it. I'll start with the new stuff you haven't seen yet. That is the Para Ordnance 45 LDA. So as you can see, it's got a weird curved trigger and no hammer. Well, it has a hammer, but it's a bobbed hammer. That's a pretty cool piece. I've been wanting that one for a while. My buddy had that. Traded a Glock and some other piece of shit for it. The Live Free Armory 2011. Good idea, rainbow colored Jimmini Show leather holsters. Lol. You have an LDA just like that? Nice. Then you've got my Gerson Influencer X. Really like that one. The Fusion Firearms with the suppressor. The Poly Judge, the DWX that I really want to sell so I can get the 226X5 Classic. I know. I keep flip-flopping. Am I going to sell it? Am I not going to sell it? Willy won't he? Oh, come on, Samantha and Tabitha. The Chronicle G-Force 45, the Fusion Firearms XP Pro and 9mm, the Gerson BR9 double stack 2011. So those are both technically 2011s, and so is that. Let's see, my Gerson Sport, the PX4 Storm and 45 ACP. What else is new? The PX9, the Daria Arms Island Comp. Try not to yawn. Is it double action or just curve? Joshua, it's called light double action. So when you rack it, the hammer goes back, and when you pull the trigger, it cocks the hammer and fires the gun. But it is technically, once it fires, if it doesn't cycle, then it's single action only. Like when you pull the trigger once, if it's not loaded, it won't arm the hammer again. It's really weird. I dated a girl named Tabitha for a little bit. Damn, I carry a full-size 1911 and a leather shoulder holster under my suit. Nice, Daniel. Poly Judge, I don't like the look, but I bet it's way lighter, and I'd hate to be shit up close devastating. Yeah, it's also got the 3-inch chamber, so it can take some pretty badass rounds. Have a good night, folks. Paul, you have a good night, too. Everybody hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for the donations and the time you guys spend with me. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Come back on Friday for the next one. And, of course, we have Rocky. Are you alive, boy? Yeah, he's still alive. We're good. We're good. He's still... Oh, he's yawning. You like the mess? All right, guys. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.